Hello, what's up? Ali here for another update for the PS4 jailbreak for the version 9.03 entire. This is for those who are waiting what to do with their unit and to those who are simply itching to have their PS4 jailbroken. First, we're going to read through the article in Wololo, and later we're going to provide our insights and suggestions to our players who are in the waiting firmwares. And by the way, if you are not yet aware, Wololo is one of these sites to check for updates if you are eagerly waiting for the next jailbreak update. So if it's not in Wololo, it is not real. So let us go ahead and read through the article. Alright, so PS4 jailbreak, what's needed? As a reminder, and at the risk of sounding like a broken record, a PS4 jailbreak basically requires two exploits. That's a bit of an oversimplification, to be honest, but the idea is that you first need a way to run unsigned code by hijacking a running process on the console. That way can be some malicious JavaScript on a web page or a cleverly crafted save file for a specific game. These inputs will trigger some bug in the application that's running them. From there, you need a privilege escalation, a way to get to a higher level of authorization into the machine's more secure pieces of code. That's what is usually known as a kernel exploit, because historically on consoles, this gave us access to the firmware parts of the RAM or the kernel. Hence, two exploits required for jailbreak: the user mode exploit or the entry point, and the kernel exploit or the privilege escalation. So this is more of a introduction on how the jailbreak works on the PS4 to those who are not yet aware. Now for the status, it's been almost a year since the latest PS4 jailbreak was released for firmware 9.0. Anybody running a PS4 on firmware 9.0 or lower can enjoy the benefits of the jailbreak today. But people on higher firmwares feel like they've been left in the cold, although that's the way the game is played. What hope is there today for people running firmware 9.03 and above? Okay, so for 9.03 and 9.04, people on firmwares 9.03 and 9.04 have a dim ray of hope with the BDGB user mode exploit. Specifically, SG has released a working implementation of the Blu-ray exploit, which in theory should work for firmwares 9.03 and 9.04. Details can be found here, so I will just put a link on our description on the link of what I'm reading through right now, so you can go ahead and read them yourself. But keep in mind that this is a user mode exploit, although historically user mode exploits have allowed homebrew games and emulators to run. This has generally not been the case on the PS4, where it seems that the scene doesn't bother for anything less than a full jailbreak. In other words, 9.03 and 9.04 are exploitable in user mode through the BDGB exploit, but this won't bring much in terms of usable features, and there is no word of a kernel exploit for this firmware so far. Okay, so for those on 9.03 and 9.04, since we need two kinds of exploit, unfortunately, we only have the half end. So we are still waiting for the other end, or for the end for a full jailbreak. Okay, so for 9.50 and above, firmwares 9.50 and above aren't vulnerable to the BDGB exploit, which adds to the fact that there's not been any mention of a potential kernel exploit on the PS4 beyond firmware 9.0. These firmwares for the time being are tightly locked. So if you're on 9.03 and 9.04, you better stay on that version, but it does not give you any luck or any better chances to have your PS4 jailbroken as of now. Alright, so to summarize, as far as a full jailbreak is concerned, nothing concrete has been announced or even rumored recently for firmwares 9.03 and above, and vulnerable to the BDGB user mode exploit though. For hacks on 9.03 and above, what are the leads? Besides the BDGB exploit we've mentioned above for 9.03 and 9.04, there are a few leads that are worth paying attention to. We of course at Wololo are keeping our ears to the ground for any development on this. So again, if you want to have a solid updates on any jailbreaks, be sure to check this website, because aside from the PS4 jailbreak, they also provide other updates for other consoles as well. So Master Core PS2 exploit within the PS4. So this was the exploit that was announced recently, but it was active for more than a year now. So PS4 Hardcore C3 has recently released a write-up on a PS4 exploit within the PS2 emulator. He has stated that the latest firmwares are impacted 10.0 at the time, but we don't see a reason 10.01 wouldn't be impractical too. And that he would be providing a homebrew environment for the hack. This remains user mode, but could be extremely interesting if indeed it allows for homebrew to run. The exploit relies on a vulnerability in game Okage Shadow King. This is a PSN game, and Sony could easily thwart any release by simply pulling the game from the store. It's difficult to recommend you buy, download, and install the game before anything concrete is released, but I personally did just for FYI. Alright, so this is another possible entry for the jailbreak, but unfortunately there hasn't been any more than the user mode exploit. So it is not advisable to jump into the hype for this on this game, waiting for it to be exploited anytime soon. So let's just wait for further developments. I'm on firmware 9.03 or higher. What can I do? Based on the above, I can say there is no clear signal from the hacking community at the moment that anything concrete is planned for recent PS4 firmwares. It's not to say that nothing's being worked on, but it could still be a while before any jailbreak is released for firmware 9.03 and above, let alone 10.0 and higher. Because of that, I truly believe that the best bet if you want a jailbroken PS4 is to buy a console running 9.0 and below. You won't find this on regular retailers anymore, but second hand between $200 or $300 at the time of writing. Okay, so the article ends here. To sum it up, well, if you are patiently waiting for the 9.03, there are some developments, but there are no concrete developments on when could we get the next jailbreak. So the best thing we can do is just get a different console, have the other one jailbroken. So what if you are on 9.03 and 9.60? Do I have to wait, or do I update my unit? Because if you update your PS4, basically you are giving up. What I can definitely say is, since there is no clear window when can we find the next jailbreak, it is hard to have a PS4 without having to enjoy it. So might as well update your PS4 and just get another unit for to be jailbroken. So is there anything happening on the background? Well, I definitely believe that. Are they keeping it from us? Well, definitely yes. But is there a reason? Well, also definitely yes. And I think the Sony bounty program has something to do with it. And these developers, cannot just do whatever they want. They'll have to wait for the go signal. And because this bounty system has something to do with it, it's very hard to just get your hopes on that. So might as well just get a new one. And if you only have one console, well, there's a lot of fun waiting for a PS4 aside from having a jailbroken unit. What I can definitely suggest is have your PS4 updated on the latest firmware, then just get a PSN subscription and get another PS4. Or if you can't afford to get another PS4, you may try to wait, because something may happen next week, maybe next month, maybe next year. What we can definitely make sure is something will happen, but when that is, no one can really tell. So might as well just enjoy what you have and wait for the next update. Especially since the God of War has been released, and to those who are still waiting for them to play the game, definitely this game is worth all of the updates that you can provide on your PS4 if you are not yet jailbroken, or if you cannot play the game because you are on a slightly lower firmware. So if you are thinking to update your PS4 just to play this game, it is definitely worth it to sacrifice the wait to play this game. And also you will have a lot of options once you are subscribed to the PS Plus. And that's it for this video. So if you have any questions or suggestions, or something in mind that you want to share regarding this topic, please go ahead and share them on our description. And again, this is Ali. If you found this video helpful, please do like and subscribe, and see you on our next video. Bye bye.